Today we're going to be doing a project of ripping out our SuperCal Penunias. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and in our bloomables bed here, we did a trial of the SuperCal, also known as Petcoa Petunias, this past summer. And for the most part, they did really well, and we were happy to see, how they turned out. One of the trials was to see what the colors were. The other trial was to see how they did in the garden as far as garden performance. So now that it's fall, these guys can come out, and we have a new trial that we're going to be putting in this space. So the new trial we're going to be doing is planting up coneflowers. So there's a new series of coneflowers we were recently introduced to, and basically it's a variety we have not heard of before, so we have no experience with. So we want to do a overwintering trial in this bed, and I think there's about 12 or so different colors that we'll be planting up, because as you know, not every coneflower performs the same, even if it's in the same series. So what we're doing in this bed and why we're planting them up in this bed is because it's kind of like a raised bed setting. We're going to be planting them right up against this cement wall here. So they are going to be planted in the ground, but we're thinking because of the cement wall here, it's not going to give them quite the winter protection that they were to get if they were just planted out in the middle of the landscape somewhere. So this is going to be even more of a good test for that hardiness of these plants. We will be planting 3 of each of the coneflowers. A good trial usually involves at least 3 or 5 of a variety, because if you plant just one plant and it dies over the winter, you don't know. Was it the plant? Was it the location? There's so many variables that can come into play. So by planting 3 of each variety, that's going to give us a good testing trial to go after to see just how those plants will do. So we're going to go ahead and get these petunias all ripped out. We're going to get those coneflowers planted in, and once they're planted, we'll take a look at them and talk a little bit more about what this new variety is that we are excited to be doing the trial on, and show you some of the various colors as well. The series of coneflowers we just got done planting are the SunMagic series from Bull Genetics. So we're excited for this. There are 16 different varieties that we have planted up today. And we saw them at the trade show this summer, and we're just so impressed by the vast array of color they had. They had excellent branching. It was a nice full plant. So a lot of times with coneflowers, they just kind of send up their branches and they're a little bit loose feeling, I guess would be the best way to describe it. But with these, they had a nice full habit to them. They get about 18 to 24 inches tall and 18 to 24 inches wide, creating a nice mounding habit. They generally will start blooming somewhere around July and put on flowers until around September or so, depending on where you're at. They like to be planted in full sun to part sun locations and have well drainage. So let's go ahead and take a look at these 16 different varieties. There's a little bit of different flower form from plant to plant as well we'll be showing you. But we're really excited to trial these throughout this winter and see how they do. So this video, we're taking it in fall. It's September right now. So realistically, in our Zone 6A garden, we're going to have the rest of September, in October, and depending on what the weather's like, possibly through mid-November for the plant to get its roots established. We're not expecting much flower growth at this point, and in fact, we really don't want the flower growth right now. We want most of the energy of this plant to go down in its roots, which is what's going to help it get established and carry it through the winter. As I mentioned earlier, we did do a planting of 3 plants, and that's a good trial to have 3 plants. That way, if one peters out for whatever reason, you've got 2 more that you are able to watch and observe. So let's go ahead and take a look at the different varieties of the SunMagic Coneflowers. I'm just going to name the plant. We're going to pop that picture up so you can see it, and we'll continue down the row to show you all of the various plants. Echinacea SunMagic Hot Pink. Echinacea SunMagic Red. Echinacea SunMagic Lavender. Echinacea SunMagic Mango. Echinacea SunMagic Ruby. Echinacea SunMagic Hot Red. Echinacea SunMagic White. Echinacea SunMagic Electric Orange. Echinacea SunMagic Brilliant Rose. Echinacea SunMagic Pink. Echinacea SunMagic Pearl White. Echinacea SunMagic Lipstick. Echinacea SunMagic Fuchsia. Echinacea SunMagic Orange. Echinacea SunMagic Yellow. Echinacea SunMagic Watermelon. So we're excited to be doing this trial on the SunMagic Coneflowers and just seeing how they perform here in our Zone 6A garden. We're going to be sure to keep you updated, probably maybe a little bit later on this fall, but for sure next spring and summer after they've gone through their winter sleep and emerge. We'll be giving you updates on how they did overwintering here in this Zone 6A garden. Was there a color that was of particular interest to you? I'd love to have your feedback on that. That kind of helps us gauge which colors or which varieties people may be most interested in, especially when we're setting our numbers for selling for next season. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.